She came home from rabbit snaring a little later than usual last night. She seemed a bit odd, or out of it. She refused to eat and went straight to bed. She did this sometimes, and I pass it off as PMS or something along those lines. As the days passed, she grew more thin and thin. "Haley, is everything all right?" She looked up from her bed. Her eyes were sunken in and looked hollow, as if she were dead. Her cheekbones were probably sharp enough to skin the rabbits we snared. I don't know how I can explain her appearance. Let's say she's emaciated. Nokomis was coming to visit that day, and I was hoping she would help Hales. My little sister was wasting away. We were all on the brink of insanity, and my mother was a complete mess. She was watching as her own daughter was dying. She couldn't do a thing to help. "I don't know how to deal with anorexics," she would say. We weren't even sure what was wrong with her. Maybe she was suffering from anorexia. Nokomis would know for sure. "Hi, grandbabies." Nokomis came walking in through the front door with a smile. "Where's Haley?" We didn't know what to say to her, so we walked her over to her bedroom and opened the door. There, sitting in the corner of the room, was Haley. She was even thinner than before, and she was making a ghastly wheezing sound. "Haley, is everything okay?" Nokomis turned on the light. Haley screeched and crawled under her bed. "Haley, what's wrong?"
"Go away."
I was so terrified that I was shaking. What the hell happened to Haley? Is she going to be okay? I stood in that doorway thinking. That's when I noticed it. The foul stench that was emanating from her closet was burning my nostrils. "Nokomis?" I called out, motioning to the closet. She proceeded towards the closet doors and slowly opened them. Haley screeched, but stayed under the darkness of her bed. I watched as Nokomis covered her mouth and screamed. I had never seen her run out so fast. If I was able to move at the time, I would have run too, but that closet had me drawn to it. I slowly made my way across the room. Inside, a skeleton with a few chunks of meat on it lay on the floor. "Haley, what did you do?" I screamed as I stared at the corpse. The reek of rotting flesh made me gag. The sight of live maggots just brought me over the edge and retch. A few hours later, Haley was sent to the police station for questioning. Apparently, she wouldn't speak, let alone mutter a word, and just sat there staring at the officer. There are rumors that she tried to bite the officer, but I don't believe them. She's a sweet girl. There's no way in hell she would do such a thing. My mother was called in by the officer to question her instead. She was gone for hours and came home at 3 in the morning. She seemed stressed to the max. "Mom, is Haley alright?" I put my hand on her shoulder. "She's in a mental institution at the moment. They want to run more tests." Her voice was rather robot-like. This all must have been traumatizing. I asked her when we'd be able to see her. She shook her head and said softly, "We may never be able to." She began to weep. "She'll never be the same." A few months have passed since that night. We haven't heard from Haley or the institution in which she was residing. We scheduled to see her within the next week to see if she's getting better. I asked Nokomis to come along. When we arrived at the institution, a nurse greeted us. "Hello, I'm Nurse Pam, and you're here to see Haley, I assume?" She flipped open her notebook. "She's right this way." She led us down a series of hallways until we reached a large metal door. Upon opening it, she revealed a flight of stairs.
We only keep the dangerous ones down here,
she announced as she motioned to the stairs. We began to climb down. At the bottom was a single room. There must have been 8 locks on the door and took Pam 3 minutes to unlock them all. Once she got the doors open, all 3 of us walked in. Sitting in the corner of the padded room was Haley. Her hair was knotted and uneven. Her skin was an ungodly pale shade, and she was wheezing louder than ever. Her bones protruded, and she was left as a skeleton with a layer of skin. We were terrified of her. She turned around. Her wheezing quickened, and she began slowly walking towards us. Haley? Are you okay? I stood my ground as Nokomis and my mom backed away. She gave me a soft hug. Her wheezing slowed down, and she whispered into my ear. I felt a sharp pain in my neck, and the metallic scent of blood quickly filled the room. I fell to the ground and watched Haley be restrained by the nurse. My vision was turning black, and the last thing I remember was the nurse coming to my side. I woke up in a hospital bed. The doctor was standing beside my bed. My mom and Nokomis were at the foot of the bed. What happened? I rubbed the sleepiness from my eyes.
Patient 038B2 attacked you. You lost a lot of blood.
He looked at his clipboard.
Haley bit you.
Nokomis came by my side.
She's very ill.
I looked over to the doctor. He must have known what I was going to say and began to explain.
Haley has a rare disorder. It only affects a small sliver of the population each year. It's called Wendigo Psychosis.
I looked at him in confusion.
When a person has this disorder, he or she has a craving for human flesh, even when food is present. It became less and less common with the progression of humanity over the past centuries. She's the unlucky percent that fell victim to this disorder.
I was shocked to hear about what was wrong with Haley. I thought she was just anorexic. When I was able to walk, we all went home. I asked Nokomis what she thinks about all of this. She said,
When I was a kid, I used to hear stories about an evil spirit named the Wendigo. I think she's possessed by a Wendigo. It can't be a disorder.
She told me more about the Wendigo, and it became dark. While I was dressing my wounds, the phone rang. I let my mom get it and finished patching myself up. I walked downstairs and saw my mom sobbing on the couch with the phone in her hand. Mom, Haley escaped.
What? How?
She killed the guards and got the keys. My jaw dropped. It's been 3 days since she broke out. She's loose with the hunger for flesh. Who knows how many people she'll kill. If you see a skinny girl with light brown hair, hazel eyes, freckles, and looks around 5'4", contact the police immediately. Especially if you hear the girl wheezing. All of us are on edge, thinking she'll come for us. She's out there, waiting for her next meal. And she's hungry.